The growth of China means that both Latin America and Australia are dealing with a new market for resources. It means we're dealing with new forms of investment, and it means that we're seeing, as a consequence, a range of new challenges. One area is in the investment in arable land, for example, which is something that, well, China with 1.3 billion people that it needs to feed, increasingly urban people, so less agricultural people, is interested in buying land in Australia and in Latin America. And if not buying, then renting. So in what ways can we try to, if not harmonize, at least learn from each other, and in dialogue with China? Again, there are some opportunities that Australia and Brazil could be looking jointly towards in terms of support services to the mining sector, Australian automation and robotics, such as some of the programs that are being developed in universities. University of Sydney has a robotics program looking at Latin American markets, mining, water, supply of water, clean energy, wind farming. The Pacific Hydro Group is doing some work in Brazil. So these are the kinds of collaborations that we can bring to Brazil. And similarly, there are opportunities for Australia to work with Brazil in the other direction. So for instance, with ethanol, that's something that there's clearly a market for in Asia. Brazil has the expertise. We have the land, and we have the money. So we could be looking at developing those types of partnerships.
Well, the relationship with Latin America can be enormously improved if we actually articulate what our intentions are about the relationship. I think Koala's always had quite a clear statement that was very simple. It was to enhance political, economic and social relations with Latin America. I think what policymakers in government need, though, is a better steer from organisations like the Lowy Institute. I mean, you are the only international think tank, independent think tank in the country. Clearly your focus aligns very closely with that of foreign affairs and trade, which is mainly in our region, and a special emphasis on Asia. Our contention in the Latin American sphere is we shouldn't have all our eggs in the Asian basket. We should diversify into a very substantial high growth market, namely the Latin American region. One thing we've always missed in a way is that active participation by the very biggest players from Australia in Latin America, namely BHP, Rio, Orica, Worley Engineering. We've had very good participation from companies like Pacific Hydro, but they're at the second tier. You know? I would like those big outfits which are perfectly able to carry their own policy, their own corporate social responsibility policy, their own community development policy, out to where their projects are. I would like them to take a broader view of their responsibility to help build Australia's relationship with the whole region. Big companies used to do this quite a long time ago. They've become quite independent and insular in their public affairs programs, and I think a bit of cooperation in the national interest as distinct from just in the narrow corporate interest would be very helpful. And certainly some sort of cooperative research activity with an institution like yours would be a wonderful initiative.